Hi YouTube. This is video number 23 of my 30-day post to YouTube challenge. Today I am back downtown outside of my job and the surrounding area. This is a hotel. This is the Hyatt Regency New Orleans, 500 Porges Plaza. Well, that's what the address used to be. I used to work at that building when I was a teenager in high school. That hotel holds a lot of memories. Oh my God. Story time. So I'm gonna walk up the stairs. You can see it in the background. And that was what I wanted. I want to be able to show you guys the hotel from as I'm walking up to get a better view of it. And when I was 17 years old in high school, I attended Joseph S. Clark Senior High School here over in the 6th Ward. That's where I grew up, in Treme. And I was a part of this MDE program. So it was a program where I took classes first half of the day, second half of the day, we got jobs in hospitality. And so the school board had I'm not sure if they contracted out, but the program was such that the hospitality group, what they did was we worked at specific hotels downtown. I think it was 3. There was the Sheraton, the Marriott, and the Hyatt. Oh, the Hilton. I worked at the Hyatt Regency. And that was quite an experience, being a teenager and working at a major hotel. I had several different jobs. So it was structured whereas I think you put a month or 2 months in, probably a month or several weeks in specific departments within the hotel. I'm going to try to remember the departments I worked. I know I was a PBX operator, which is a phone operator. We received calls, external calls from guests, potential guests, and people looking for guests in other departments. So I was a hotel phone operator. The second department was housekeeping, laundry. I'm not sure if I did housekeeping, but I know I did laundry. I worked at the Courtyard restaurant in the hotel at the time. This was way back I graduated high school in 1985, which is next year I'll be 40 years anniversary of high school graduation, which I still can't believe I've come this far in life. But yes, I've been at it for a long time. But in the backdrop there, that's the Hyatt. That place, I tell you, holds so many memories. There used to be a bridge, like a walkway between the Superdome, which is right here where you see those stairs, and it connected to the second level of the Hyatt Regency Hotel. So things have changed since after Hurricane Katrina happened. I think they shut it down and redid the whole the whole look here. Now this is Champion Square in the backdrop. I'll show you guys Champion Square. That's Champion Square where they have outdoor concerts right there. That's the first thing I remember. And the second thing I remember is being a hotel operator. The PBX operator is what they used to call us. And I had the opportunity I worked the front desk too. I met Tina Marie. If you guys know who Tina Marie is, Miss Square Biz herself. She checked in one day for a show. And back then, I think the show was called the Budweiser Superfest. And it was in the Superdome. And she checked in while I was working at the front desk and left tickets for me to attend the show. Because she's such a sweet lady. I can't remember if I went or not, but she did give me a set of tickets to the show for the Budweiser Superfest that she performed at. The second thing I remember is meeting New Edition, right? Back then, in order to leave a message for a guest, There were no cell phones where you could text someone. I mean, this was real, like, antiquated back in the day in 1984, 85. And New Edition was in town for yet another concert. And I was so excited. Someone had called their room and left messages for them. And of course, I had to hand deliver the message to the room. And I sashay my little tail up there. I want to go meet New Edition, right? And I knock on the door, and I think it was Ricky Bell. I think it was Ricky Bell who answered the door. And of course, he would not let me in. And I think it would have been against hotel policy for me to go into the room. But I did hand deliver Ricky Bell. He came to the door. I think he might have had a robe on, opened the door, greeted me, and took the message. He didn't even flirt. But anyway, that was my New Edition experience. One other experience I had was not so pleasant with one of the hotel guests. This guest, I'm not going to tell y'all the guest's name until I tell you this story. This guest is very, very popular, a world-renowned jazz artist. He plays a musical instrument. And my experience with him was when I was working as a PBX operator. And again, I told you guys you had to take a manual written message and leave it in like a box for the guests, and you initiate like a light. Like after someone calls in and leaves a message for a guest, you write the message down, you put it in a box with their room number on it, and you initiate a message light on their phone, so when they come back into their room or wake up, they'll see the light flashing, and they're supposed to call down to the operator to get their message given to them over the phone. This particular day, the guest called down and I answered the phone. And it was the rude musician. And he was talking really low, and he told me he had a message, and I proceeded to read the message, and I was rudely interrupted by being called a bitch. A bitch. That's all I remember, is being called a bitch and some other rude obscenities that he threw at me, which was like really crazy. I couldn't even believe how badly this man had spoken to me and hurt my feelings, right? And I just couldn't believe that this person who's worldwide known for his music treated me like that. And then I realized what kind of person he really was, right? From my experience. That person was none other than Miles Davis. Yes, the one and only trumpet player, Miles Davis, cussed me out, and for no good reason. So that was my experience with Mr. Miles Davis. Now, I'm sure I had a lot of other experiences. I'll never forget, one day we had an emergency. A tragedy happened at this hotel. I'll never forget the room number 2142. And that room is where a guest checked in at and checked out, if you know what I mean. He decided to jump from the hotel, from the atrium. Like, if you've ever, I don't know how the hotel looks now, but there's like an open atrium, and the rooms are like circular around the open atrium. He jumped over 21 stories and fell to his death. And that was one of the most horrific days. It was so sad. It was so sad. I don't even know if they even rent that room out anymore or not. I'm gonna have to visit in there just to kind of revisit and go back in time and see how the hotel looks now compared to how it used to look. Let's see, what else at the Hyatt Regency Hotel? I loved working there. Back then, everybody was family. They gave free lunch. We had, if you were an employee, you ate free in the hotel cafeteria, and they made some amazing, amazing food. I'll never forget Miss Betty. She used to work in the kitchen. She's a cafeteria worker, and the other ladies who used to work there. And my coworkers in PBX, and whose names I can't really remember, but we were all, I remember Miss Susie and all the other ladies who worked there with me. They were all kind and sweet. and generous ladies who worked there. Worked at the front desk. I don't know if I worked in reservations, but I worked at a lot of departments in that hotel. So this hotel, the Hyatt Regency New Orleans, holds a lot of memories from my childhood. That's it. I just wanted to let you guys see where I used to work when I was 17 years old. The hotel's still there. It's just, I think, kind of ironic that I actually worked next door to where it all started for me. So that's it for video number 23. I have 7 more to go. 1 week from today should be my last video, you guys. I'm getting there. I am almost to the finish line. I'm behind, but again, I told you guys on my other video that I'm dedicated and I'm determined to do the 30 that I set out to do. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all on my next video. Exterior. I'm going to show you guys just a little bit of the exterior. This used to be a bridge right here, right? Where that brown top is there. And then they put in this stage on Champion Square, which I can't hardly see out here today, but there's a performance stage. I know Lil Wayne had Lil Weezy Fest there one year. He performed on that stage right there. It's a pretty big outside area. That is an indoor venue. My niece had her wedding and wedding reception in that building. It's called the Club XLIV, whatever numerical Roman numerals that represents. It's owned by Gail Benson, as I understand. She's the owner of the New Orleans Saints. And so yeah, this is where I work. This is my neighborhood, you guys. So like I said, that's Tom Benson. Let's take a walk to Tom Benson and see what he's got going on. He passed away. I want to say he passed away about, Tom Benson passed away about, I'm guessing now, y'all, at least he's been gone for about at least 7 years. It's somewhere in the ballpark of about 7 years, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, that Tom Benson, he's the owner of the he was the owner of the New Orleans Saints. His wife now owns it. Miss Gail Benson now owns it, who's a beautiful, beautiful lady and philanthropist in our community. And that's her right there. And that's her. And Mr. Tom. Yep, she's now the owner of the New Orleans Pelicans and the New Orleans Saints. So yeah, that's our hometown. This is my hometown, y'all. I love New Orleans. There's the Pelicans. That's what she owns. She and Mr. Tom. Rest in peace, Tom Benson. Who that? Who that for life, baby?
Too lit, who gon' check? You can tell me none. Boss mode in effect, and my money long. If you ain't talking money, don't talk to me.